So I left that youth group meeting with a little more balance.
For the past 7 years, the Reverend Molly Housh Gordon has led her congregation towards a sense of community and belonging.
I believe that any religious tradition can be used to heal or to harm, just like anything else in the world can be used to heal or to harm. And certainly we have people who come to our church because they feel like they've been harmed by another religious community of varying kinds.
Religious traditions allow churchgoers to shape their values and decision-making.
The way people prioritize the issues that are most important to them is really complicated and usually tied to a very deep personal story.
One of the better ones.
Sarah Burke's story of growing up in the foster care system made her question her past.
One of the only photos that we have. The more I grew up, the more I thought about what happened to me when I was a kid. And I think that really was the kicker. I had a lot of abuse, dealt with a lot of really ugliness. And so why me? Why did that happen to me? Why did he let that happen?
Searching for answers, she leaned on the teachers at her high school.
I would certainly challenge the nuns, and sometimes they would just say, you just have to believe. And I just didn't have that feeling in me.
That feeling of emptiness led Burke away from church. She eventually found her voice in politics.
But I still need to have a voice. That's really important. That's why our Constitution was written the way it was, for people like me.
Housh Gordon regularly hears political questions in her church.
We're very clear that we're religiously progressive and that we're religiously liberal.
According to the First Amendment, the separation of church and state prevents Congress from making laws about religions and prohibits expression thereof. The Constitution allows churches to express their political stances.
There are more subtle ways, like preaching about abortion around election time, or talking about marriage in a way that indicates that gay marriage is frowned upon.
Housh Gordon uses what she calls faith values to guide her sermons. During the 2018 election, poll workers questioned her beliefs.
We have a Black Lives Matter sign in our window, and when we are a polling site for voting, they always take down that sign because they see it as as a partisan or political statement. But for us, that's a faith value, that Black Lives Matter.
Poll workers consider the sign political.
But I also think
politicians like Senator Josh Hawley connect with voters through their beliefs. 1 month before the 2018 election, he spoke with leaders of a prayer organization at a Rally for Life event.
For sure.
Burke doesn't want churches expressing their values in terms of politics.
I think it really bothers me that the church has become a lot more political. There's a clear separation of church and state in our Constitution.
For me, the separation of church and state means that our government should not be legislating matters that force religion upon people and that force their religion upon people. I don't think that means that people can't speak from the perspective of their faith to their legislators.
Same political values, different religious backgrounds, a clear disagreement on what the separation of church and state means. Americans have the power to decide what kind of values they want in their church.
But there are people leaving on both sides. But the people who are more liberal are kind of fed up with the marriage of religion and politics.
The marriage of religion and politics doesn't always work out. The values of believers, churches, and politicians don't always mix. With producers Minna Tian, Fiona Murphy, Naomi Klinge, Spencer Quist, Greta Serrin, Olivia Love, KBIA News.